ones we have loved and lost, and whom we shall still love and never lose.
When our forefathers, by the courageous stroke of a pen, severed the bonds binding us to European tyranny, and guided by a succession of the greatest, most inspired leaders that the world has ever known, this tiny union of 13 historic states became a mighty nation.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind, which requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to the world. He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment, for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, and burnt our towns and destroyed the lives of our people. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress, assembled in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown. Thank you.
Indeed, is the day we celebrate. In the annals of our country, consecrated as it is to patriotic impulses and proud recollections, it marks the commencement of our existence as a nation and a new era in the government of the world. It is a day when the friends of constitutional law and liberty and self-government should cheerfully lay aside their differences of opinion and with one common voice unite in demonstrations like this. And when all should assemble not only to pay fitting honors to the memory of those noble men who were erected the Temple of Liberty, but also to ponder upon the great theme of American freedom, to consider how it was won, by what means it was maintained, and above all, how it may be preserved. We come not to applaud our own works, but to pay a deserved tribute of gratitude and respect to those by whose noble and successful efforts the rights of freedom were vindicated and won. They felt that their struggles were not alone for themselves, but for their children and posterity. The most they could promise themselves was that having placed upon this soil of the tree of liberty and moistened its roots with their blood, that their children would gather from it their branches, gather from fruit from their branches, excuse me. The event we meet to commemorate is all important, not merely as it relates to us as a people, but as it marks one of the great epochs in the world. If the histories of conquerors and princes are true, there may be much to condemn, and perhaps but little in which the world around us takes an interest. But in the history of liberty, of struggling to be free, of those movements by which freedom is established and perpetuated, there is an interest both deep and genuine, and this interest is felt to us as a nation. This union, the result of the revolution and the statesmanship of those by whom the Constitution was framed, is no ordinary gift. It imposes upon each citizen duties of a high and responsible nature, and such as no individual